Research shows Americans have more fatal heart attacks during the holiday season than any other time of year. That's according to the Oklahoma Heart Institute. A Northern Kentucky emergency room nurse is alive today, thanks to some observant friends. Our friend Terry Foster is here in the studio with his story of survival that may help others. Terry and I have known each other a long time. Our daughters went to nursing school together. So I asked him to come in just as a warning for others, but also to share your story. What a coincidence. You were at a nurses conference to speak when you had a heart attack.
Correct. I was in Lexington. I am the president of the Emergency Nurses Association. It's a global network, and I was at the Kentucky Emergency Nurses Association conference. I was going to be the keynote speaker. Woke up about 4 in the morning in my hotel there with a little bit of chest pain, and it kind of got worse over an hour or two, but by 6 a.m. it was pretty intense pain.
But you were going to still try to carry through and speak, right?
I was, except when it started getting bad, I started to get pretty sweaty and nauseated, and I knew I was having a heart attack, and I knew I needed to kind of get out of the hotel room because I was by myself.
And you were able to get help from your friends,
yes,
other nurses.
I literally walked down the hall to where they were setting up at like 6:15, and they turned and looked at me with just a look of, worry, and what I have looked at patients before where you're like, oh my gosh, that person looks awful. They looked at me the same way, and I said, I need help, and they said, we'll help you, sit down. They called 911. They, were getting things in motion. They were very reassuring to me, and it was scary. I was afraid of dying, but I actually did not want to have a cardiac arrest in front of my friends.
Wow.
And I just thought, because when it's one of your own, it's really difficult. So anyway, they expedited me. I got in the squad, and they were taking me right to UK Medical Center. They did an EKG on me, and I asked to see it, and they said, you don't want to see it.
Oh, wow.
And I said, I do. And there's a thing on an EKG that we call where the lines are, we call it tombstones, and they were all there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I know that you had some risk factors from your family, but one of the reasons I wanted you to come in with we only have like a minute and a half left, but
sure.
What are some signs that people should look for in themselves, or if they're at a family gathering with somebody?
Sure. And I would say any kind of chest pain, pressure, crushing chest pain, and it can start a little subtle like mine did. But if they're short of breath, if they're weak, they have nausea, sweating, all of those kind of things as well, get it checked out. Women have a little more unique presentation. They have more fatigue. Show me a woman that's not fatigued today.
I know, so we just keep going, right?
Exactly, but women also do have a lot more shortness of breath, so get it checked out. I'm really glad that I did. I didn't deny it. At first, it just wasn't that bad, but then as an ER nurse, I knew what was happening.
And you take care of people all the time. You tell us warnings about different things all the time. What kinds of things should people be taking care of, especially during the holiday season when we're at parties and get-togethers and with family and things like that?
Well, you don't want to hear it, but it's overeating and overindulgence in alcohol can be a risk factor. But as long as you're taking your medication, you're following up with your family doctor, you try to address the risk factors you can. Hereditary and the sex you're born as, you can't change that.
Right.
So those are tremendous risk factors for me. But other things like I never smoked, I don't eat red meat, no desserts, I walk a lot, take care of myself, those things, but it still happens. So, but I'm so grateful to be here, and it's going to be a very, very special Thanksgiving for me and my family this year.
Has a beautiful daughter, Meredith, and granddaughter, Ruby, that he shares about on Facebook. I'm so glad they still have you. And we still have you, Terry. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming in to talk about it.
Thank you.
Hey there. Yeah, you could stop watching right now, but let's be honest, you don't want to do that. Hit the links or click subscribe to see more amazing content from all of us here at Local 12.